It's time for the Brouhaha Sports Show. Brouhaha Sports with award-winning sports writer Dale McKee and co-host Marshall Wood. Talking sports with the legends of the game and famous sports personalities. Brouhaha. Now to Marshall and Dale with tonight's guest.
Good evening, everyone. It's Brouhaha time, and Marshall Wood here with Dale McKee, my friend and partner in crime, Dale McKee. How you doing, Dale?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. You know, somebody told me this show was coast to coast, man, but you never know, do you?
It is today.
Yeah, it is today. It is today. Well, listen, let's get this thing started like we customarily do. Taking a little gander here at your sideline view. I see where you address some things like the Winter Olympics and the All-Star Game. There's a lot of sports news out there, Dale. College baseball, we talked about that some. Anything here that you can recall from the from your sideline view you want to highlight for us today? We got the SEC
well,
coaches.
You may have to, you may have to drag me through it a little bit.
Well, let's do this.
But anyway,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I mean, you may have to drag me through it a little bit.
Okay.
I don't have it in front of me.
I'll drag you.
But you know, it was kind of one of those deals where I just thought February was a slow month for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, we're just so consumed in Mississippi on college football and a little bit about college basketball and a whole lot about college baseball. You know.
Yeah.
So, I mean. So that's our attraction, you know. But
yes,
college
sir.
football is not around.
Right, it's not here. But we got some good baseball stuff to look forward to.
Yes, the season will start. The season starts Friday.
Yeah.
For the Big Three.
Yes, sir.
Southern's at home, State's at home, and Ole Miss is home, and all of them are expected to have pretty good years. State's supposed to have an awesome year under their new coach, and we got some winning coaches in Mississippi. I promise you. At Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and it's Southern Miss. I mean, those guys do a tremendous job with what they have, and really Southern Miss probably does more with what they have financially than anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, they just do a great job.
They really do. I'm sitting here looking at your preseason poll for the SEC coaches preseason poll, and for the baseball season. And guess who's number one? You know, LSU. I mean, you know, they seem to pop up the top everywhere, don't they?
That Lane Kiffin works magic. Everywhere it goes,
Yeah. Well, let's see here. It says the poll was led by LSU at number one, while Texas, Mississippi State, Arkansas, and Auburn. The second five had Tennessee, Florida, Vandy, Georgia, and Ole Miss. So, you know, look at there. That's pretty impressive. Two SEC schools, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, both ranked in the top 10 to get things started with. That's not bad, is it?
Well, no, especially in college baseball. If you're in the top 10 in the SEC, you're probably in the top 25 in the country.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty high.
Yeah. Let's see. The Golden Eagles come in, I believe, ranked at number 20 in the USA Today preseason poll. And let's see.
And they're number 2, yeah. They're number 2, I believe, in the Sun Belt behind Coastal Carolina. And the Coastal Carolina people I think they're underestimating that program. They won 50-something games and went to College World Series last year.
Man, they're good.
And, of course, Troy over Montgomery is always good. And so is Louisiana Lafayette. So those would be probably top 4 in the Sun Belt for sure.
Yeah. I'm sitting here looking at the Golden Eagles. You talk about Ostrander, the coach, has led the Golden Eagles to 90 wins in his 2 seasons. That's 45 a year average, and that's not too shabby, is it?
No, but he did a wonderful job at Jones Junior College.
Yeah.
He's doing even maybe a better job at Southern.
Yeah. I tell you what, there's a lot of good baseball played in the state of Mississippi. I mean, you know, Ole Miss has had their, in recent history, you know, World Series wins. Mississippi State has done it. If we could just get Southern to get over that top, man, we'd really be something special.
It would, and they're always in the top up to the end. You know, so maybe they can push it one more grunt to get over the finish line.
Yeah. I just got to believe. You know, we say that down there at Southern. You know, we believe. We used to say that. I don't know if we still do or not. Didn't they have a big campaign over there one time? I believe, or we believe. Do you remember that?
I remember one time they had the deal. We'll play you anywhere, anytime, any place.
Yeah, I had a big problem with that. I had a big problem with that. I'm a Southern graduate, Southern fan, but they didn't mean it when they said it because they wouldn't go to Oxford and play Ole Miss. You know, so.
Yeah, but I can understand them not wanting to do that because I think Ole Miss wanted to play them up there every year.
Yeah, but they said anywhere, anybody, anywhere, anytime. I mean, either it is or it isn't.
I know, yeah, but they didn't do that with Alabama either. They went to Alabama every year.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't think I ever saw Alabama down in
Southern Hattiesburg.
Down in Hattiesburg, down in Hattiesburg.
Yeah,
I saw Ole Miss State down there, but never Hattiesburg.
Yeah.
But never Alabama.
Yeah, them old Alabama folks. What are you gonna say, huh? We love them. Hey.
Yeah.
I think we're about out of time for our first segment here, and I'm gonna tell you something.
Okay.
You may not be aware of this. But I want all of our listeners out there across the land, from the West Coast to the East Coast, from the north boundary to the Gulf of America down here. We got a really special guest tonight. You want to tell them who it is?
I have no idea. I thought you were in charge of guests this week.
It's you. You're the guest.
Oh, is it me? I thought you were supposed to get the guest this week.
I did. I got you. Okay. I got you on the phone,
What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about politics?
No, I'll tell you. We'll talk about Bad Bunny. Let's take a break and hear from one of our sponsors, and then Dale and I are going to be back to talk about Bad Bunny right after this commercial break. We'll see y'all in just a minute.
Phillips Building Supply in Laurel, your hometown building supply store since 1954. We are locally owned and pride ourselves on helping our customers find exactly what they need. From foundations to roofs to doors and windows, Phillips has it. For tools, hardware, lumber, and plywood, visit Phillips Building Supply.
Welcome back, everybody. Marshall Wood here with the Brouhaha, and I got Bad Bunny on the phone. A.K.A. Dale McKee.
I hope not. I don't want to be associated with that guy.
I don't know why not, but anyhow, we'll get to that in a minute. Did we have we had a halftime show? I heard. I didn't see it, but I heard there was a halftime show and a Super Bowl. Did we have a Super Bowl, Dale? And did anybody win it?
Well, I think finally. Seattle kind of dominated from the opening. To me, Seattle dominated throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
They were better on the defensive line. They were better on the, and I think that stalled New England, and their offensive line was a lot better than New England's defensive line. So I think that was the outcome of the game because they ran the ball so well. The Walker kid really looked good.
Yeah.
Rushed for like 135 yards, and I think he was the MVP. Then they had a little walk-on college from out in the Southern California from Marist, Marist College.
Yeah.
He kicked 5 field goals, and he was a walk-on in college at a school like a Millsaps, and he had to pay his own way. And now I think he's getting rewarded very well. How much do those players get the winning share of the Super Bowl, man? You have any idea?
I do not.
It used to be $50,000 a player.
Well,
I didn't know.
I guess the question, how much do players get for playing in the Super Bowl?
The winning players. Yeah, the winning players. I think the winning players and the losing players get some kind of...
well, here it is. Players on the winning team receive a $178,000 bonus, while players on the losing team receive $103,000. I could live with that $103,000, but I'd sure rather have the $178,000. What about you, Dale?
Well, yeah, I guess for tax purposes, it doesn't matter, right?
Well, that's
You're going to take all the way.
That's not that's in addition to what they get paid in the first place. That's just for showing up out there and playing in that Super Bowl. They get that.
Well, yeah, but they get every playoff game they win, they get money.
Well, yeah, that's true.
If So
that's kind of
if
like,
they win the first round or second round or third round, they get money.
that's kind of
Whether
like
they win or lose.
Yeah. Well,
I think it should be strictly winner gets the money, loser goes home.
Yeah. Who won it? Did we say?
Seattle.
Seattle won.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they had Charlie Cross from Laurel playing for them, so
that's pretty good.
Charlie from high school.
Oh, man.
He's a good player. I mean, he's a great player,
Yeah.
And,
First round pick.
Waynesboro had a lot of success. Well, Wayne County had a lot of success against Laurel, even when Charlie was playing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah. It's good to see I call these people regional. I guess regionally, the local folks. It's good to see them get out there and do well. Some people, you see, there's a football player from LSU that plays for the New England Patriots. He's an offensive tackle. And I'm not the biggest LSU fan in the world by any long stretch of imagination, but there's a kid that played. He was I guess a first round, maybe the fourth overall pick. We'll get to that in a minute. Will Campbell out of LSU. Now, I've been reading some stuff this morning. When they drafted Will in the first round, there was some people said his arms were too short. The NFL has a minimum arm length they look at. For offensive linemen, particularly a left tackle, at 33 inches. Will's is 32 and 5/8. That 33 is the minimum that they look for. Well, he's 32 and 5/8, and some folks said that he couldn't do this in the NFL because his arms were shorter. But anyway, I guess he's been doing real well. But this article right here, Will Campbell accused of cowardly move after Super Bowl 60 loss. Will Campbell was probably the worst player on the field Sunday evening. He gave up several sacks and quarterback pressures. He gave up the most pressures, which were 14 in a playoff game since 2018, and his 29 pressures allowed in a single postseason is the most ever recorded. Man, they're eating this guy up, for having I guess they didn't save the short arm business, but I guess everybody's do a bad game, huh, Dale? They shouldn't be hammering this guy too bad, huh?
No, I wouldn't have. I mean, everybody has a bad game, and sometimes it's all about the matchup,
Yeah.
If you're going against a really, really good guy that can, he may have an advantage on you for some reason. It could be strength, it could be speed, it could be quickness.
Yeah.
And Seattle Seattle had a really good defense for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Once they got Sam Darnell in at quarterback, and I'm still amazed at the Minnesota Vikings. He was quarterback for their team last year. He went 14-2, and they let him go. Just let him go as a free agent.
Thanks for your service.
And now he's with Seattle. He went 14-2 and won the Super Bowl. And of course, it's like everybody says, he's an ex-New York Giant quarterback, which makes it more interesting. Because there's people in New York they're just crazy,
Yeah.
And they're just saying, hey, why are we trading all our quarterbacks? Because we booed them up here so bad, and now they're doing so well somewhere else. Of course, he was a Jets quarterback.
Yeah, bless his heart.
Anyway.
One more thing on the Campbell deal. He was requested to give interviews after the game, and he wouldn't do it. And I guess he said enough's enough. I've made a big enough show of myself today. I'm going to go to the house, lick my wounds. Hey, guess what, folks? I'll be back next year getting about, let's see what he makes a year. I don't know, but it's millions a year. So anyway, we wish Will Campbell good luck in all of his carryings on. Well, we know who won the football game. But we know there was some additional competition going on around the Super Bowl this week, Dale. There was the halftime show created quite a bit of discussion. It's to the point that the Charlie Kirk group, Kid Rock and that bunch, even started their own halftime show. So, in other words, when it came Super Bowl halftime, everybody that didn't want to be a part of what was going on, the NFL sanctions as halftime show entertainment, they wanted to be somewhere else. And we've got a count. It was we had the Bad Bunny halftime show that the NFL put on, and we had the Kid Rock halftime show that the Turning Point USA put on. Bad Bunny versus Kid Rock. Who you like in that one, Dale? Who you like? You for Bad Bunny or you for Kid Rock?
Well, I don't know much about either one of them, to be honest with you. And I'm kind of out of town, so at halftime I left to go somewhere else. And by the time I got to the other place, there was 5 minutes to go in the game. So unfortunately, you're the expert on that. I did not. I did not take part in it. I couldn't see either one.
I didn't either. I read about it.
You just read about it?
Yeah, I read about it.
I need to read. I need to read more then.
Well, you're too busy writing.
I'm not.
You write so people like me can read. So I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you who won the halftime show. And
Who?
Bad Bunny. And I mean, Bad Bunny won big.
I figured he did.
Yeah, he had 135 million.
He did.
He had 135 million viewers, and Kid Rock in the Turning Point USA had 10,000. But I'll tell you this: if I was gonna watch one of them, I believe I'd have gone with Kid Rock. I don't know.
Well, you know what's deceiving about that? People leave the game on, maybe turn the sound down, and they just walk around, get the chips and donuts and everyone else they're drinking, and they kind of roll around for 20 minutes. Well, if it's still on the air, it counts as them watching it, you know.
So
okay. It's like one man told me one time. He goes to the bathroom during the halftime.
Oh yeah.
He says he enjoys that more than he does the halftime show. So I don't know.
Oh. Well, let's leave Bad Bunny and Kid Rock alone. We'll just move on down the list. We'll get on somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting hammered. Yeah, Will Campbell and...
We're not through. This is not a Super Bowl deal. We're going to hammer. We got somebody else getting hammered. Tony Dungy. You know Tony Dungy.
Tony.
You know Tony.
Yeah. How's Tony getting there?
Tell me.
Tony didn't vote for Belichick, right? Is that right?
Do what? Yeah. Well, yeah. Michael Kay, ESPN host, wants NBC analyst to be fired. Michael Kay thinks NBC should fire Tony Dungy on the spot for refusing to discuss his Pro Football Hall of Fame vote during the network's Super Bowl pregame show. The longtime voice of the New York Yankees devoted several minutes of the Michael Kay show on Monday to eviscerating Dungy for turtling when asked directly whether he voted for Bill Belichick for the second time that week. Dungy declined to answer, invoking an oath as a Hall of Fame voter not to discuss the committee's deliberations, an oath that, as it happens, does not actually exist the way Dungy suggested. Where do you stand on that, Dale? I mean, this guy.
Well, listen. If you, I voted in the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame, and I can just tell you one thing. I'm not the official voter. I cut the list down from 200 to a smaller part of that, and they don't really want us to discuss anything that goes on either.
Yeah.
But but sometimes you get in a flex where. When you're like that committee, this was Roger Craig's last time that he could be on the ballot in any way. So if you didn't vote for him, he would never be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And a lot of people thought he needed to be in. So there goes one of your votes right there.
Would you have voted for Roger Craig?
You know, well, I would have voted definitely for Breeze and Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
I didn't. I remember Roger Craig being a very good player.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was one of the greatest of all time, which I think should be in the Hall of Fame, the greatest of all time. But, there's always people left off. There's always going to be arguments.
Yeah.
There's arguments when we pick the NCAA basketball bracket. There's arguments when they fuss about who gets in the College World Series tournament.
Yeah.
They fuss about the college football playoffs. So there's always going to be discussion in sports. And so I just know that I would have definitely voted for Breeze and Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
And I don't know who else was on the list, but I know they said Eli finished 10th. Well, if Eli finished 10th, he's going to wait a while.
Yeah.
Because every year they're going to bring some more people in. Like a Breeze. Like, when is Tom Brady going to be up? I mean, but what stuns me about it, they picked the kicker from the New England ahead of Belichick. Now, I don't know about that now. And then, I mean, what would be nice is if Brady and Belichick go in together next year, wherever when Brady's up.
Yeah.
And I think that may happen.
That would be
that may
cool.
shut down a lot of this stuff.
They
But
could
I mean,
be.
it does amaze me that he didn't get in. But you know, a lot of these sports writers vote too,
Yeah.
and a lot of them up around New England probably wouldn't give him the time of day now because he never gave him the time of day when he was being interviewed. You know.
Well, there you go. What goes around?
He would just say, we're just going on to the next game. You know, going on to the next game.
What goes around comes around,
So
huh?
that was, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if you treat people bad, you know, maybe they'll finally get their revenge on you, you know, if they want revenge.
Yeah, those rascals. I'll tell you what, let's do, Dale. Let's take a break to hear from one of our, since the show's just you and we're just going to have the 2 seconds. We're going to have the opening in this segment here. So let's take a break to hear from one of our sponsors, and then Dale and I will be back right after this commercial break to finish up tonight's Brouhaha. See y'all after this commercial.
Phillips Building Supply in Laurel, your hometown building supply store since 1954. We are locally owned and pride ourselves on helping our customers find exactly what they need. From foundations to roofs to doors and windows, Phillips has it. For tools, hardware, lumber, and plywood, visit Phillips Building Supply.
Welcome back, everybody. Dale and I here ready to get on for this final segment for tonight's Brouhaha. Welcome back, Dale. Glad to have you with us again tonight. Ha! How you like that? Anyhow, let's turn our
couldn't find anybody. Just face the fact, you couldn't find anybody. Tell your listeners you couldn't find anybody.
I had a long list. Now, hold on, dog. I had a list.
Yeah.
But I just got to tell you.
You had a list?
There's like nobody does it better, man. Like that Spy James Bond movie, the Spy. Nobody does it better. That's the way you are, Dale. Nobody does it better, man.
Okay.
You're the greatest, man. You're the greatest. So while we're talking about that, let's talk about some things. We're going to talk about NIL. We're going to talk about some little transfer stuff. But now there's been some stuff going on, and let's see if I can read this. Judge blocks former NBA draft prospect from playing for Alabama in potential precedent-setting ruling. A potential groundbreaking decision made in Tuscaloosa, Alabama on Monday that could change NCAA eligibility forever. A judge denied Charles, I can't say that, Bediako's motion for a preliminary injunction that would allow him to continue playing baseball for the Alabama Crimson Tide after he returned despite declaring for the 2023 NBA draft. So just after 5 games.
Was it baseball or basketball?
This is basketball.
Was it baseball?
Well, I say this,
okay.
He's already playing. Yeah, it's basketball. He says it's basketball, and he says he's so after 5 games, his season's over per AL.com's Nick Kelly. It says common sense won around today. Dale, the guy entered the draft, said he wanted to go to the draft, and then decided he wanted to come back, and that's against the rules. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think if they're not drafted and they still have eligibility left, I think they need to they can play.
Yeah.
But I think he did more than that. I thought he played in a farm league for him or something. The NBA's got what they call a G League or something.
There is a G League, and
players.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. He said he.
Well, now he doesn't need to. If he did that, then he doesn't need to come back.
Yeah. It said here.
Listen, you're taking away a roster spot from one of their from a high school player maybe or a junior college player or somebody.
Yeah.
That's not right.
It says here
we don't do redos.
That's right. He spent time in the G League over the past 3 seasons, which includes 6 games for the Motor City Cruise. However, he was granted a temporary restraining order in January, allowing him to return to Alabama to play for his old team, despite the NCAA initially denying the Crimson Tide's request. You know, I just don't think there's any place in sports for that. Of course, the way things are rolling, Dale, that may become the norm. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, it ought to make out, yeah. Listen, I like Alabama. I like Alabama sports. But I'm going to tell you what, they ought to make him forfeit every game he played in. Yeah. Honestly. I mean, he's an ineligible player to me.
I agree.
I mean, it is getting out of hand. And listen, I'm the biggest Trinidad fan there is. But honestly, Trinidad's been in college long enough, and all these other guys get 6, 7, and 8 years.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to go get a job. I mean, that's what. I mean, the quarterback from Miami said he hadn't attended a college class in 2 years, and he was in his 6th year of eligibility.
Yeah.
You know, I thought you had to make grades.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any articles lately about a player being on academic ineligibility like they used to be in the 80s and 90s?
Yeah,
they would say, oh, so-and-so is not going to be able to play this year because of grades. Well, they don't say that anymore.
Yeah. Just play, man.
You know?
Just play.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to take some courses along the way, you know?
I'm going to read this from this article. It kind of ties out with Derek, what's going on. While we understand the concern around competitive and developmental implications to former professional athletes participating in college, it is important to acknowledge reality. The NCAA has granted eligibility to over 100 current men's basketball players with prior professional experience in the G League or overseas. Granting eligibility to some former professionals and not to others is what creates the havoc we're currently in and why consistency from decision makers is so desperately needed. There's no consistency in decision makers in any of the sports these days. We can get to the NIL and all this stuff, we can talk about that, but consider this, Dale. The NCAA has granted over 100 players with prior experience to come back to the NCAA. Did you realize that?
No. That's stupid. Who's ahead of this thing?
Got to do it, man. I mean, isn't that absolutely insane? Listen,
no, I mean, that's not, yeah.
We getting.
I like the old days when they had to stay at one school. You know, and if they wanted to transfer, they had to sit out a year. Well, at least we know the players.
Oh man,
you know?
I can't keep up with you. I lost being able to keep up with free agency and stuff, and keep up with the teams in the NFL. Now I can't keep up with the colleges anymore. And I tell you what, listen to this, Dale. NIL for high school. We're going to be at the point where we're not going to be able to keep up with the high schools anymore. Listen to this. Let's see what we got here. The university. The NCAA, no, wrong thing. Here we go. I've lost my notes. You you don't have to have notes, so you don't know how that works, do you, Dale?
Oh, I have notes every morning when I get up. This is what you got to do, Dale.
This is what we do today. Well, I had some information around here. Here we go, right here. High school NIL. Key details on high school NIL. Is permitted. Did you know that high school NIL is permitted in 40 states? Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Restrictions. Permitted states over 40 allow NIL, with some offering more freedom than others. There's restrictions. Most states prohibit using school logos, uniforms, unified. Examples of deals: local business endorsements, national brand partnerships. High school kids are getting paid now, Dale. They're allowing this. Now listen to this. Alabama, Mississippi, Hawaii, and Indiana have said no to high school NIL. Michigan and Wyoming are considering it. But all the rest of them have done it. We've got high school NIL. How do you think that's going to work, Dale?
I don't like it. I think it's going to be a disaster, you know. I think that, you know, kids these days are a lot different than when we were raised, or even kids 20 years ago, but 30 years ago. But kids all the superstars want to get on one team, and that started with LeBron James.
Yeah.
And you know they want the best, all of the best ones. Well, it makes it very unfair for everybody else.
Yeah.
And you know, that's what the draft is for. Mm-hmm. And you know, to even out the teams, but it's not working because once free agent starts. You know, everybody wants to go to the Dodgers in baseball. Everybody wants to go to, I don't know, I guess the Lakers in basketball, or because of all the publicity.
Yeah.
And you know, and so, and in I think college sports, you're going to get those teams like Ohio State. They're going to dominate.
Yeah.
Because of that, because you know, getting all the good players. And it's not fair to everybody else. Everybody else just spinning their wheels.
Yeah.
I mean, we know at the first of the year, you and I know at the first of the year that 5 years ago, all right, Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson were going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So the other 150 Division I schools were playing for one spot.
Yeah.
You know, because they had all the talent.
Yeah.
And it's going to be worse than that now with the way the NIL is. But I mean, but it's helped a little bit. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I don't think Ole Miss would have had the season they did without the NIL. I mean, that's just my personal thoughts about that.
Yeah.
But you know, and now that Texas Tech has got a big donor coming in, they're trying to dominate every sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I'm reminded of an old Bob Dylan song from the 1960s. You may remember this. Oh, the times they are a changing. But you know what, Dale?
Oh, yeah.
That tells me that we're out of time. Appreciate you being with us today, Dale.
Okay.
Were you
Thank
glad?
you for asking me to be on the show.
Listen, we want to remind y'all that we appreciate y'all listening, and we remind you that you can follow us during the week on our Facebook page at the Brouhaha, or you can listen to all the shows that we record and post on our YouTube channel at the Brouhaha. But you know, it's time for the show tonight to say goodbye, Dale. So, what are you going to say?
Goodbye, Dale.
Goodbye, Dale. We'll see you next week for more of the Brouhaha. Get us out of here, Jamie.
You've been listening to the Brouhaha with Del McKee and Marshall Wood. Heard Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. on WABO. For more of the Brouhaha, follow us during the week on Facebook and WABO.